What is going on, guys? Welcome back. This has not been a good video to make. This is not a fun video. I've got a Madden, trailer I did yesterday. I've got a Madden video coming up, and those are fun, right? This is not fun. I want you to set aside EA, Madden, me, all those things, and I just want you to think about being an employee. I'm full-time employed. I hope you are too. I know it's a tough time for our economy, but I want you to ask yourself, if you spoke publicly about your customers in this fashion, what would take place? What would be the ramifications? What would be the discipline for you? Now, it's interesting that Ty comes out and says, poor Clint, these fools actually think it's some evil empire and any one person makes all the decisions. I don't think Clint fully understood what was taking place here, because he responds, that's a good way to describe it, though, evil empire. Laugh out loud, go read through my mention sometime for a good laugh or cry. Ty was actually referring to evil empire as EA, that the community thinks they're just evil. Clint was actually agreeing with that. I think he meant to project that back on the community, but regardless, Ty absolutely calls the community fools. Now, I don't know if either one of these gentlemen are familiar with what EA has been putting out publicly, but it's a completely different message, that they take on toxicity when they take on hate, that they create positive experiences, that they create positive interactions. They go on publicly to push this narrative that they create positive conversations. They go on to talk about, in this press release, that together they create safe spaces. Yet this is an employee and a game designer, no doubt, coming out speaking very negative about their customers. In fact, Ty continues on and says that he has went through Clint's timeline, and it's so stupid. These clowns think you can just snap your fingers and create every one of their requests if only they knew how it actually works. Now, Derrick Rogers responds and tells him, watch your mouth. These people pay their hard-earned money for something, and they feel they haven't seen it improve in over a decade. But make no mistake, this is a company posturing against everything these two individuals are trying to create. This is an EA employee calling a customer base clowns, and the other referring to the company as an evil empire, even if he didn't mean to. Now, what is the genesis of all this? Well, it starts right here. 33,000 people disliked this trailer, so that must make them clowns. What's interesting, though, is it's not our job to understand how hard it is to make the game better. It's theirs to understand what we want. And within that trailer, there's a comment here that has 17,000 likes. This comment, understand, is more liked than the actual trailer itself. And because Ty and Clint have a hard time comprehending, because they're too busy assuming that we're clowns or we're evil or that EA is an evil empire, I'm going to make it really easy for you guys. Because I can sit here in my sleep. I can sit here in my sleep and create content about how bad of a football game you have. If you want to make a bad football game, that's fine. You've got a proven track record of doing that. Continue right along. But don't insult your customers. Don't create that toxic environment that your company promotes is against. Don't call your customers clowns because you don't understand us. You don't understand that we're asking for this list. I joked that we need a moment of silence for our wish lists because they've been so forgotten. In many ways, all we're asking is for you to live up to what you've promised. That was the whole reason I did a trailer yesterday, was to show we still haven't gotten in Madden 2008 what we're being sold in Madden 2020. I've got a video coming up after this that outlines in Madden 2009, they sold us things that still aren't in the game today. Right down to the exact same imagery. It is not our job to understand how hard it is for you, Clint and Ty. It is your job to take our feedback and implement it into your product to improve your game. That's any line of business. And you should not shame your customer in the process of wanting a better product. And you certainly should be better than doing it publicly, where there's a record for everyone, where an NFL player interacts with you afterwards. So you know what I think it starts with is a public apology from both of you for insinuating that either EA is an evil empire, the community is an evil empire, or your fan base are clowns. That's a start. Let's see if we can get that done. And then maybe we'll talk about making a better game, because right now, I think it's much more prevalent to understand what you think about us than what you're thinking about making a game do. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this. I appreciate you checking this out, and I respect everyone in this community, regardless of how you feel about me. You know I will be back in the week with more commentary.